Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Are we happy today? Are we happy to be here? We're getting ready. We're getting ready. Time has come for us to be ready to elect the next mayor of the city of Moss Point. Is it time? Yes, it is. It is time that we put someone in Moss Point who is concerned about Moss Point. Someone who's willing to do a job that Moss Point can be proud of, and that everyone here can be proud to have as a mayor. So we are looking forward to the next mayor of Moss Point. I'm here to introduce the future mayor of Moss Point, none other than Alderman Sherwood Bradford. We are very proud of him as being Alderman here in Moss Point, and we'll be even prouder to have him as the mayor of Moss Point. Can everybody just put your hands together, be welcome the next mayor of Moss Point to the stage. Sherwood Bradford.
Come on, everybody, give him a hand praise. Come on, give him a hand praise. We're coming today. Take the mask off. For those who may not know me, this is a great day for the city of Moss Point. This is the day that I've come to announce my candidacy for the mayorship of Moss Point, Mississippi. And we did not get here by chance. We're not here by accident. But we're not here because we have nothing else to do. We have come here because the citizens of Moss Point matters to me. I am concerned about the condition of Moss Point. And as the music is saying from Bishop Hezekiah Walker, Hezekiah, we're going to get better. It's got to get better in this community. And the way it's going to get better is we working together. But I'm telling you right now, my candidacy is going to be different from all the rest, and I can promise you that. Because it's going to be based on one thing: truth to power. Can somebody say truth to power?
Truth to power.
We are going to tell the truth. We're going to walk on the truth. I tell you, I promise you this. This is a calling on my life of the Lord. And if I don't win the race, I can guarantee you, if you listen to me, you will not walk into that voting booth unaware of the issue. I intend to give the issue, the true issue. I'm not here with no big idea. I heard somebody say they had a big idea and it's going to fall out the sky. It's going to be hard work, but it's going to be based on the truth. Do y'all understand? We have had a complicated and a difficult 4 years. I want you to know it has been hard. Other aldermen will tell you that. Other people that have been participating in city government will tell you that. It has been difficult. But I want you to know that everything is done for a reason. And I come today to tell you what my plan is, what my goals are to fix Moss Point. You're going to hear a lot of what I like to call sayings, theories, whatever they want to call it. That is like, we are diamond in the rough. Let me tell you something, we are not a diamond in the rough. When a diamond is in the rough, it hadn't been found yet. Moss Point is a diamonds, Rubens in the wrong hands. And we're going to correct that. We're going to let folks know that we are a diamond that's set up on the hill. And we cannot be hid any longer. It's not a diamond in the rough. We heard that for 30 years. Moss Point, a diamond in the rough. Well, we must be some sorry miners. Because if we ain't worked the mines by now and found the diamonds, we need to leave that alone. Either we ain't got no diamonds in there or whatever. Moss Point is a city with a lot of potential. But we play so much, we pretend so much, we allow folks to come with theories, we allow folks to come with these wishful thinking, these long resumes, these outstanding PhDs and all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. This is a common job. This job is not hard. You got to have honesty, compassion, transparency with the people. Moss Point residents have to realize that for quite a few years now, we have been going the wrong way. We have been told the wrong things. We have been lied to over and over and over and over. Well, it's time now to cut through the chase and let you know what the truth is. As you see my sign, the people's matters. We got to invest in the community. You hear folks say all the development is coming. Let you in on a little secret. When folks decide they want to come to your community, they look for three things. They look for public safety, they look for education, and they look for great recreation. And I don't have to tell y'all we're a little slack in all that, all right? But it's not going to get fixed by talking about it. We got to put policies in place. We got to let the leadership know, the staff know, that the people's come first. You're going to hear a lot of talk. Now, I'm going to do this. You hear things like community policing. Well, you're talking to a man right here who has been fighting for community policing for years now. For years. You're talking to a man right now who's been fighting for recreation for years. And better education for years. Let me tell you about that. That's a word out there. Everybody's going to say, I got a lot of experience. I want to let you in on the secret. Experience is contact, being involved with something up close. It's not looking at something from the outside. If all these candidates that jumped in the race, if they haven't been elected official in Moss Point, not elected official at the state or wherever, but in the city of Moss Point government, they have no experience. They have no idea. They're totally lost. You're looking at a man who's been in the fight. I've been in the fight. And we got 5 months before the election started. I kept telling my campaign staff, look, let's hold off. We got 5 months. We'll get burnt out. But everybody kept jumping in, so they told me, you better get in. So we in. And we're going to stay in, and we're going to win this thing. Because what we're going to take to the citizens of Moss Point is the truth. And I know all your concerns. I know you're mad and extremely excited about water bills. It ain't no coincidence, there's no accident that Moss Point, Mississippi got the highest water bills on the coast. It's no accident. It's policy. It's a game. Then they'll tell you, well, your water bill is high because of your infrastructure. Well, you're looking at a man who will sit on 2 boards of Alderman boards and have watched millions of dollars through grants and other things get put on the infrastructure, and our infrastructure ain't improved. Our infrastructure have not improved. And I'm going to tell you why. The first thing I'm going to do when I'm elected mayor, I'm going to hire a qualified project manager, somebody to watch every project from the beginning to the end. Before anything is covered up, he's going to represent Moss Point. He's going to tell us that the job has been completed before they get out of town. You have contractors coming in, they tell you they done put so many pipes in, they done covered so many pipes, and by the time they're gone, we still leaking. We got to stop this. One time I was in Jackson, and the guy told me, he said, you want to hear a joke? I said, well, you just have to tell him. He said, the thing in Jackson is, if you want to make some money as a contractor or engineer, go to Moss Point, Mississippi. They believe anything you tell them. Well, I want you to know, your next mayor, Mr. Sherwood Bradford, they will not tell me anything and leave this town and leave us stranded with high water bills. We're going to fix that. We're going to sit down with Jackson County Utility Authority, and we're going over that contract, and we're going to find out what is the problem. It is time to stop this merry-go-round going around and around. Now, my campaign said, what are you going to do about all the negative talk? They say you loud. They say you go off. Well, bless his heart, the great John Lewis, who passed here, a few months ago, you know what he said? Good trouble. I got it. I love good trouble. I'm going to get in a lot of good trouble for Moss Point. I'm going to stand up. We can't be electing these folks who just want to be at the table. I'm at the table. You don't know what to order. You don't know what to say. It's like going to a Chinese restaurant and can't read Chinese and you don't know what to order. I've been there. You think you're getting one thing, you're getting something else. When I go to the table, I'm going to know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I have the experience. And you have to have compassion. This is not, when you're in local politics, it's different from national or state. Because you can't go to Walmart. You can't go to the Dollar General. You can't go anywhere without folks walking up to you. And you can't have an attitude like you're not going to be bothered. I want to be bothered. I want to be called. I'm here to work for you. I'm here to tell you the truth. People's matter to me. Young people's matter to me. We got to get our youth off the streets. We got to get our youth off the streets. We got to come up with a plan. Talking about them, locking them up, that ain't no good plan. But there are programs all over this nation that are rehabbing young folks that has fallen off their way. Y'all believe that?
Yes.
But you have to work. You can't be afraid of them. And the schools, you want to know how we're going to work with the schools? I learned something during this COVID-19. I learned the term contact tracing, tracking. They track folks who, if I've been around this brother, they're going to track me because I've been around him. They're going to track whoever been around me. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And we have children in high school, haven't been to school in 6 weeks. That kid's name needs to be put on a list with the city, the county, and we're going to track them and find out why they're not in school. We can work together and save our youth. And when they get out of school in the daytime, they have to have a gym. They have to have activity. But that's no use building big facilities you don't have the children. Folks are leaving here because there's nothing to do. We have to build things that's going to attract them to Moss Point. We have to realize we're not working for other entities. We're working for the city of Moss Point. I love Moss Point. This is a great city. Great people live in this city. But they need somebody who care for them. I don't have no great campaign speech. I don't have no big, long words. I don't have no big, long resume. What I have is common sense. And what I do have, I have the nerves and the backbone to stand up for the city of Moss Point, Mississippi. Y'all should be clapping. I come to represent Moss Point. Moss Point needs somebody at the table who's going to stand up for Moss Point. It's too long. And be transparent. There should be no citizen in this community that go down to City Hall and don't get an answer. I want you to know when I become the mayor, I'm going to have what you call a 7-day turnaround. If you come down there, Miss Lady, with a complaint, in 7 days, you better be able to call that City Hall and say, I got my answer. Because if you don't, the mayor going to have a problem. Because citizens deserve an answer. They may not want to hear. I have folks call me sometime about a barking dog. I said, well, ma'am, I can't kill the folks' dog. But they want just to know that I went to the neighbor and said, could you ask the dog not to bark? They want to hear from you. They want to hear from you because they elected you. You're not going to elect the mayor, Sherwood Bradford, and never see him no more. I'm going to be in the community, of the community, with the community. When y'all cry, I'm gonna cry. When y'all laugh, I'm gonna laugh. When y'all prosper, I'm gonna prosper. That's right. I'm not gonna make $75,000 and everybody paying high water bills, and we don't have a recreation department because we're financially strapped, but I'm making $75,000. Something wrong with that. Something wrong with that. You can't be having all these high-priced salaries and no recreation. That is about as crazy as we can get. How can we justify it? Somebody said, you gonna cut your own pay? I will cut my pay for the youth of this community because it don't make any sense for me riding around looking high class and my young people that are in the streets. Nowhere to play, nothing to do. Am I right? You're looking for a man going to represent you, or you want somebody who's just going to profile. Everybody want to be the man Moss point. We're going to make them give us some answers. Why do you want to be the man Moss point? You know why? I want to answer that question. Because we need pride. Well, Mr. Bradford, what's with all the potholes? Nothing need filling. Priority. We have money to fix potholes. Oh, I want to let y'all in on a secret. A lot of my colleagues ain't gonna like this, but I told y'all I want to tell y'all the truth. Moss Point is not broke. We are not broke. We're poorly managed, but we're not broke. Anytime you get $300,000 or $400,000 from the county a year for road and bridge, we can fix potholes. It's all about the priorities and what we want to do for our citizens. You can't have the highest water bills on the coast and the worst streets. Something wrong with that picture. You got folks want to run for mayor, they don't even know one grant from the next grant, one budget from the next budget. Some folks want you to spend out of some money that you can't spend in certain areas because they don't have the experience and they don't know what they're talking about. I don't have no long speech. I just want to announce today I'm in this race to tell the truth, and it's time for Moss Point, Mississippi. And I tell you, we got 6 months, right at a little over 5.5 months. And every 2 weeks, I'm not going to do it every week because we'll run out. But every 2 weeks or so, I'm going to be on Facebook Live discussing one subject. There's a lot goes with community policing. And let me tell you something. The police is not the enemy. They're not the enemy. They're not the enemy. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you that they put in such a disadvantage at times because they don't have the resources. They don't have the manpower that they panic. Let me tell you something about policing. If we give them what they need, then we can demand a greater job. Y'all believe that? Community policing. You know who was my first baseball coach when I was a little boy? A local police officer. He watched me all the way through high school. Police, I want them to be part of the community. We ought to give them a $2 or $3 incentive if they live in the community, part of the community. And I'm going to tell you something else about policing. Under my administration, we will not be hiring police officers from other police departments with bad records. If he kills somebody in New Orleans, why in the world are we bringing him to Moss Point? No way. We want great background checks. We want him to be thoroughly checked out. And we got to quit playing this game. That we're so desperate that we'll take anybody who comes. That's not for us. It is so much going on. I ain't gonna be able to get into it all today, but I want you to know. I was setting up last night. I was gonna write this great speech. I called my campaign manager. I said, I'm not writing no great speech. She said, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna talk from the heart. Everybody concerned about Main Street and Martin Luther King. Why everybody hanging out? I want you to know, and I'm going to give Mr. Alderman Chuck Redmond some credit. Chuck Redmond and I, we fought for Main Street Project. If you don't know what the Main Street Project is, I will explain it to you in the next few months. Main Street is a great project. It's a great program. And if we can take from the shopping center all the way downtown and incorporate that in Main Street program, we will have a great economic start. We have to fund that kind of stuff. Most when I first moved here, I said, man, where am I at? I went downtown, I think early October. I seen all this hay stacked up, pumpkins all over the place. What's wrong with these folks? That's some good pumpkin. But you know what? It was a spirit. Y'all know y'all enjoyed it. We need to fund things that make us happy. We got $15,000 for pumpkins and hay. We need to work with those ladies. And another thing I'm going to do, in the first 6 months I'm in office, I'm going to recruit 300 to 500 volunteers. In the great city you go to, have a great pool of volunteers. Former teachers, former doctors, former lawyers, all kind of construction workers who's willing to help our young folks develop. All you have to do is get them the resources and the tools to work with. Government cannot fix everything. Don't let no one come tell you they're going to fix everything, because it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. But I'm telling you, those 500 volunteers, if you treat them right, work with them, give them what they need, they will help you build a city. Somebody said, well, we don't have any economic development. That's because we don't have any economic development. You can't run around the country looking for one big company to come here and save us. We got enough folks here who want to open up businesses. Let's take our own folks, open up business, put them in the Main Street program, and build our own economy. Somebody don't hear me. This is what we need to do. We need to start, I'm going to tell you, you hear the term infrastructure. They be talking about pipes. They talking about underground. We put millions and millions of dollars underground. But I'm going to give you another term I want you to put in your spirit. Social infrastructure. We got to rebuild our people. We got to encourage them to be entrepreneurs. We got to encourage them to be the volunteers in the sports department. We got to encourage our young ladies to grow up to be young ladies. We got to encourage our young men to stay in school and strive to be somebody. We got to invest in the people because they matter. I want you to know, honesty. If you're looking for honesty, now sometimes they might say, that Bradford say anything. I'm going to say the truth. I'm telling you now, I'm not the conventional candidate, but I'm the best candidate. Okay. Because Mars Point, we don't need a whole lot of philosophy and theories anymore. We done went through all that. We done went through all the, everybody know everything. What we need now is for everybody to come together, sit at the table, and say, what is the best way out of this? What's your idea? And it ain't no west side of Morse Point, east side of Morse Point. It's not a black Morse Point, a white Morse Point. It's Morse Point. We all gonna come together, and we're gonna work and build this community to what we know it can be, what it once was, through unity. You know what Morse Point needs? Y'all ready for it? Morse Point need a hug. Do y'all understand me? Morse Point need a hug. We need somebody to embrace us and hug us and let them know that we are important and we're somebody. We're worth fighting for. I'm not coming to be the mayor to get rich. I'm 62 years old. I ain't rich by now. It ain't going to happen. I'm not here to build up my resume. My resume is done. I'm not here to be stroked on the back. I've had all that all my life. I'm here to hold hands, work with everyday citizens, and build a community that we can all leave to our children. Do we all have children? We have grandchildren. It's selfish to live in the current day and don't plan for the future. Anybody say they're in leadership and not looking towards the future, they're lying, they're not leaders. Everything we do should be for our children, grandchildren. We want to leave it better than we found it. If we left Morris Point right now, we would be embarrassed. I found Morris Point better than this. Do y'all hear me? I'm telling you, I got the difference between myself and the average candidate that you're going to hear come forward. You're going to hear a lot of theories. I got answers. The next 5 months, I'm going to lay out all the answers. And I'm going to tell you right now, some of them going to be hard, but they're always going to be one thing. They're going to be fair. They're not going to be slanted toward my family and my community. I wouldn't pay Earl Boulevard and didn't pay 2nd Street. In fact, Earl Boulevard mad at me because I paid something else and didn't pay it out. That's okay. When you look out for others, it'll come back to you. You believe that? We have to love this community. And when you love something, you're going to work for it. You're going to work at it. You're going to be diligently about it. I'm telling you, every morning I get up, I look for a better way to better Morris Point. Believe me. And I know you've heard a lot of wild stories. I tell you, I hear some Sherwood Bradford stories that make my eyes pop open. Man, that guy must be something else. Half of them ain't true, but a lot of folks like to tell stories. Half of the John Wayne stories you heard wasn't true. But what I'm telling you is, they will never be able to tell you that I didn't fight for Morris Point. I didn't stand up for Morris Point every and each day. And secretly, in the open, I'm Morris Point today, I'm Morris Point tomorrow, and I'm Morris Point forever. Morris Point is a great community. It needs leadership that's going to stand up for the right thing. Morris Point, if you're ready, if you're really ready to make the next step, I'm willing to lead you. I'm willing to lead you to recreation. I got experience in recreation. You know what hurts me worse than anything in this community? When I walk in the store and see one of my former little baseball players that lost his way on drugs and different things. He's so high he don't even remember Coach Bradford. That hurts me. I know we can't save them all, but we can do better than we're doing. You know what hurts me? When I ride down the street and see all kind of empty lots, that's policies that we can put in place to stop that. I tell you, we got 430-some acres of empty lots and abandoned lots in the city of Morris Point. We can take those lots, get them under the hands of the city, and develop homes and nice houses. Do you know our school don't have 1,400 children in the whole district? Where are they? They had to move to local cities where there was affordable housing. We have to take care of the basics. If they don't have anywhere to live, they supposed to leave. Right? If they don't have a decent school district, I'm blessed. When my 2 children came through school, we was great. I never will forget Charlotte Heights, Red Hot Learners. We produced some great individuals. We got a few of them I'm worried about, but overall, we produced some great individuals. Morris Point, we can do it, but we cannot do it procrastinating, pretending, and lying and misleading one another. We have to be real. If we got a police problem, we need to address it and address it head on. If we have a Alderman problem and folks are hanging out on the streets and doing all kind of things, we need to address it. You know, if I own a grocery store, or I own a corner store, or service station, whatever they call them, and everybody out here just hung out there all day, common sense will tell you that there's something going on in that store that is attracting them. And what we need to do, the first 90 days I'm in office, and believe me, I believe in my heart, I'm going to office. I'm going to call every business owner on Main Street, and ask them, what can we do together to build a safe and productive business district? You're not going to get it just with the police riding by. Sit down and get their ideas. Why are they hanging out in your store? What do you need for us to do? I'm telling you what we need you to do. Communication is the key. Now, if you scatter folks, you're not going to be a good leader. You're not going to be a good leader. This is a public service job. If you're getting in this to get rich, you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong business. I'm in this because of the love of this community. I want to see Moss Point go to the next level, and we can do it. Y'all believe we can do it?
Yes, sir.
We can do it. And I'm here to tell you that I'm willing to make all the sacrifices that I can to take Moss Point to the next level. There's going to be some days where we have to stand up, be strong, and say, we're not going to have that in Moss Point. We're not going to have that. You're not going to build that in Moss Point. Right? But I'm going to tell you something. When you're trying to sell something, you want it to look good. Right? So if you want to present Moss Point to business folks, let's take a year and clean Moss Point up. Clean the ditches. You're looking at a man who fought, and I got other aldermen out here, they told the truth, they'll tell you. I fought for a full-time ditch crew to clean up every ditch in Moss Point, and it never was implemented. I have fought this fight. I have been in this fight. I'm not just getting in it, I've been in it. And I've got the battle scars and the stories behind it to prove it. Now, I'm a preacher, and my family, they have little ways of blinking their eye and grabbing their heads when I done talk too long. And I see one of them grabbing their head and turn it, so they about ready for me to shut it down. But I came today to announce my candidacy for the city of Moss Point, and over the next 5 months, my job and my goal is to prove to you that your best candidate for this job will be Sherwood Bradford. You can believe that. Take that to the bank. I'm going to do everything to assure you that this community can go forward if we all go together. Thank you very much.